Want to speak real English from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com.
Hi everybody, my name is Alicia. In this lesson, I'm going to talk about how to use the preposition at. Let's get started. The first way that I want to talk about in this lesson is using at with locations. When we use at before a location, it's for places inside cities or places in the countryside. So we use at before a specific location, like for an activity or to describe our position. Some examples are at the bank, or at work, or at the supermarket. So we could put a simple expression like I am at the bank, or he is at work, or we are at the supermarket. These expressions all describe a location, our current position. Another very common expression is at home, at home. A note about at home is that we use at home when you are already inside your home, when you are already at home. We do not use at home when we're talking about moving to our home. So for example, when we say something like, I'm going to go home, we do not use a preposition there. We do not say, I'm going to go at home. We do not use it in that way. We use at home to describe an object inside our home or to describe our position when we are inside our home. So we would say, for example, I'm at home, meaning I am inside my house now. This is much more natural than saying I'm in my house. So usually we say I'm at home. Or if, for example, you forget something inside your home and you go to work or school for the day, you might say, oh no, I left my wallet at home. So it refers to something inside your house. So please note this when you use at home. Some other examples, these are kind of more countryside related, but we say in American English, I'm at the river. I'm at the river. The reason we use the river here is typically because when we are in a town or a city with a river or a couple of different rivers, we can generally guess which river the person means. So yes, even if there are like maybe 2 or 3 rivers in your town or in your city, we tend to use at the river. So we're not always super specific about it, even if there are a few different rivers in the place where we live. Another expression you might hear is at the mountain, at the mountain. This is used when we do mountain-related activities like skiing or snowboarding. So if you're on the phone with a friend or texting a friend, you might say, I'm at the mountain today. You might also use this when you're hiking. You might say like, I'm hiking at the mountain, though I feel like it's more commonly used with skiing and snowboarding. I'm hiking at the mountain. You might also hear in the mountains, plural, in the mountains. That tends to be a little bit more commonly used for hiking-related activities. I'm hiking in the mountains today because it sounds like you're going between mountains, like there's more than one, perhaps. So we tend to use in the mountains more for hiking, at the mountain more commonly for ski and snowboard and other snow-related activities. So a note about at and in is that sometimes in is also correct, but it refers to being inside a place. So in many of these example sentences, we absolutely can use in instead of at. So a lot of questions from viewers are like, is it correct to use in or is it correct to use at? And the answer is yes, they're both correct to use in many cases. The difference is this right here. When we use in with one of these locations, like in the bank or in the supermarket, it refers more to being inside the supermarket. If you just want to describe like being maybe in front of the supermarket or you're going to enter the supermarket, but you're not inside yet, you want to say, I'm at the supermarket, it's better to use at. If you want to refer to being inside something, inside a location in a city, you would say, I'm in the supermarket, like on the phone. I'm in the supermarket right now. Do you need anything? Is also totally correct. You could say, I'm at the supermarket right now. Also totally correct. So we use it with these kinds of city locations, both in and at. We do not, however, say in work. We don't say in work. We say I'm at work because it's kind of like a condition. Same thing with home. We don't say I'm in home. You might hear people say I'm inside my house or I'm inside my home right now, but we don't say in home. So you can use in with these kinds of places. I'm in the bank right now. I'm in the supermarket right now. I'm in my school right now. So you might hear it with like building names, and that's totally correct. You can use at or in those cases. A couple of other points regarding use of in for locations. You can use in before city and country names. So for example, I'm in Barcelona, or he's in Switzerland, or she's in Toronto. So we do not use at in these cases, like he's at Barcelona. We don't use that. Or she's at Switzerland. We do not use at before city and country names in this way. So please keep this in mind. Locations inside cities and in the countryside areas, we use at to describe those. We use in before city and country names. Okay, let's continue to the next use of at. We use at to talk about the time of day. So this means we use it before the time of a scheduled activity. Some examples. Let's meet at 2. So at comes before 2. Yes, you can say, let's meet at 2 p.m. or let's meet at 2 o'clock. All of those sentences are correct. We just need to use it before the time expression. Another one, she arrived at 3:30. She arrived at 3:30. Again, you can say 3:30. That's totally fine as well. All of those are correct. This is a past tense action, but we're still talking about the scheduled activity, something that happened like according to a schedule. We use at. Another one, we left at 10. We left at 10. So again, it comes before the time expression. One more, he's going to start the meeting at 9. So this is a future activity, a future scheduled activity. He's going to start the meeting at 9. You'll also hear at night. At night. When we want to talk about something that happens at night, we use at night. Please note, we do not use at morning or at afternoon or at evening. We do not use at with these words. We use it for night. At night. Something happens at night. I go to sleep late at night. Let's meet late at night. So at night is kind of a set expression for you to remember. A note about the time of day portion here. We use in cases like these, but we use in before a length of time to show duration. So you'll notice each of these example sentences, like 10, 9, 3:32, these are not lengths of time. These are specific points in time. Something happens at a specific point in time. When we use in before a length of time, it shows how long that activity is going to be, or it talks about how long something took in the past. Some examples of this, let's meet in 2 hours. Let's meet in 2 hours. This means 2 hours from this point in time, let's meet. So this refers to a duration of time. We are going to meet in 2 hours. This is the suggestion here. We use in. We cannot use at. Let's meet at 2 hours is incorrect. Another example, we finished the task in 10 minutes. We finished the task in 10 minutes. That means 10 minutes was the duration of time, the length of time required to finish the task. We finished the task in 10 minutes. At is incorrect here. Similarly, we cannot use in these cases. Let's meet in 2 does not refer to meeting at 2 o'clock. We cannot use it in that way. You may, however, hear someone use in before a period of time, like 2 or 10 or something like that, when they mean 10 minutes. Like let's meet in 5 means let's meet in 5 minutes, 5 minutes from now. It follows this pattern, but this is used in very casual situations where the relationship and the plan is very clear. This is a case where you may hear in used before a number. But please keep in mind it does not refer to a time period, or rather it doesn't refer to a time directly. It refers to a time in the future, usually 10 minutes. We usually use this expression with minutes. Let's meet in 5, let's meet in 10, let's meet in 20, perhaps. It's generally a very short period of time. But you cannot use in these cases. She arrived in 3:30 is incorrect. We left in 10 is incorrect. We do not use it in this way. So please keep this in mind. In is used before a length of time to show duration. Okay, I want to finish this lesson by looking at some common expressions that use at. So many people ask, like, why do I use at in this expression? Or what's the rule for using at? So we have these two big rules that we can think about, but there are many English expressions that don't have a specific rule. It's just part of a set expression, like at night. That's just how it is. It's just an expression we use with at. So I've chosen some very common expressions that you can use with at and practice. First, at best. At best. At best means in the best possible case. In the best possible case. We see at best very commonly at the beginning of a sentence. For example, at best, we have 2 weeks to solve the problems with our product. At best, we have 2 weeks to solve the problems with our product. This means, in the best possible case, we have 2 weeks. So this is a short way to say, in the best possible situation, we can do this. So we shorten this to at best, at best. Another expression is at all, a very common expression. This is often at the end of a sentence. We use it for emphasis. It means in any way or to the least degree. So for example, I can't speak Chinese at all. I can't speak Chinese at all. So this sentence, I can't speak Chinese, is grammatically correct. At all shows emphasis. It means in any way. I can't speak Chinese. I can't speak Chinese at all is much stronger. It's better for emphasis to include this at all expression there. So you'll find this very commonly at the end of a sentence like this, and it often, but not always, has to do with inability to do something or something that's very difficult to do. Okay, the next expression is at last. At last. At last means finally, finally, something you have waited for a long time or anticipated, been excited about. At last means finally. You'll see it very commonly, like alone, in a kind of excited expression. For example, at last, I saved enough money for a car. I saved enough money for a car. So something the speaker was excited about or something the speaker has been planning for or working towards, we would use at last in coordination together with that expression. So at last, finally, I saved enough money. At last. Another expression, at all hours. At all hours. At all hours means at any time of day. So this one is maybe a little clearer to understand. All hours. That means all hours of the day or at any time of the day. For example, the customer service phone line is available at all hours. So you can kind of see that this at follows this time of day pattern. It's available at all hours, or my neighbors did something at all hours. My neighbors were noisy at all hours. So it's kind of like this pattern, but we use all hours here to mean any time of day. Okay, one final expression is the very common expression at any rate. At any rate. This means anyway or regardless. So this is used typically at the beginning of a sentence, and we often use it when we're kind of contrasting. We're showing like the difference between 2 points. So for example, if you're really, really busy at work and you explain to your coworker, I'm so busy right now, I have so many things I have to do, but at any rate, I have to get this report done by tomorrow. That means anyway. So even though there's all this other stuff, I have to do this. We use at any rate to mean anyway. So this is a very common use, a very commonly used expression too, in work situations and in school and study situations. So it's kind of a nice way to move on from a topic and focus in on something else. So at any rate. So this is an introduction to some common expressions that use at in English and some rules you can follow for using at with locations and with time of day expressions. So I hope that this was helpful for you. If you have any questions or comments, or if you want to practice making sentences with at, please feel free to do so in the comment section of this video. Also, if you like this lesson, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and check us out at EnglishClass101.com for some other things that can help you with your English studies. Thanks very much for watching this lesson, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye. Want to speed up your language learning? Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.